Hello everyone, how's it going? Milky Way Matthew here. Hope you had a good day or having a good day. Thanks for tuning in again. So this is day number 2 for me of the Peter Monn vlog challenge. 14-day challenge to celebrate Peter Monn's 1400 plus now vlogs on Peter Vlogs. So yeah. Some interesting things have happened today. It's been a fun couple of days. I really enjoyed reading all of your comments on my video from yesterday. So thanks everyone who commented and participated in conversation. It was fun connecting with you all today and appreciate that. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. It was very long, so thanks to everyone who watched. And okay, so before I forget, I wanted to take a moment to shout out to ShareBear14, who's also doing the Peter Monn Vlog Challenge. And so props to her. I found her and watched her first vlog today, and it was very fun. It was just so nice. Like, so I was working on some stuff and had her playing, and she's real and honest, and it was like kind of touching. But also, it made me laugh very hard. So, yeah, highly recommend ShareBear14. So, I will link her below. And, of course, I will link Mr. Michael Poff below, Poffology, the original starter of the Peter Monn Vlog Challenge. Yeah, so that's a couple things that I wanted to share with you. And so today I went to work at one of my 2 jobs and was in the office today with my coworkers, and it was kind of a very steady day, which was nice. And it was that way because I just, like, I guess the projects that I was working on today were long, so I kind of was doing most of the day was spent on one long task that involved recording a video and editing it and getting it ready to be uploaded. So yeah, and then other tasks sprinkled throughout that. One of which was very exciting. I have to get a certification for the role that I'm in now, which I started at the end of this past February. So I was like in this job only for 2 weeks before we shut down because of the pandemic, and then it was all trying to learn this new job from home, which was weird and interesting. But anyhow, so I have to get this certification, and all my the other people at my work who have the same certification, when they had to go through this certification, they went and took a 4-hour class, and then like that's all they had to do and were instantly certified. And I'm very jealous of them right now because it's changed since then, and I had to do a online class that lasted what seemed like forever. And I like love to learn, but this was just like, it was so many hours. And this wasn't today. This was like 3 months ago that I was working through this, and it took me weeks to get through the class. And then you didn't even get the certification. You went into 6 months of probation. So I just finished my first 3 months of probation, and I had to submit 5 examples of the work that I've done and have that graded. And of the 5, there was only 1 error on 1 of them. And so I was able to fix that really quickly and upload it. And yeah, so I'm good for another 3 months. In 3 months, I'll have to submit 5 more. And then at the end of that, I will be certified. And other than, like, you know, continuing education stuff, I'll have the skill set that I need to do all the tasks of my job. So other than, you know, improving and learning. So that was a relief to get that done, because it's not fun, but that's, you know, even though I really love my job, and you know, there's always something that that's like not fun. You know, in anything you do, there's something that's not fun. Which, okay, that reminds me of a story that I'll tell. So I would, okay, okay, I'm getting very excited, if you can tell, is sparking thoughts. Sometimes I love being a fan of things, and sometimes I feel like that's shameful or embarrassing, or it's not cool to be a fan of things. For example, I love Star Wars, and that's like the one thing I love it so much I don't care. But then there are other things I get really excited about, and sometimes I'm like, it's not like, you know, like play it cool. Okay, I also love John Green, who, you know, is an author and YouTuber. Hello, Vlogbrothers. And okay, I like say that with trepidation because there are people who are way bigger John Green fans than me. So, for example, I've only read 2 of his books. So, obviously, you know, I haven't spent, like, every waking minute. I don't spend every waking minute thinking about him or anything. Like, that would be weird. I don't know why I said that. But, I just totally derailed my thoughts. So, love John Green. And sometimes I think, you know, can I even call myself a John Green fan? Because there are people who love him so much more. And I think the answer is yes. And here's why. Because, as I said, I love Star Wars, and I would consider myself, okay, there's like people who know everything about everything in Star Wars. And I'm not at that level, but I have respect for the level at which I am a fan of Star Wars, and I often am there's only like a couple other people that I know that I think love Star Wars as much as I do, and I think, and often in a you know, I'll find myself in a group of people, and it becomes very evident to me if we start talking about Star Wars that my love for it goes like way beyond kind of everyone else's enjoyment of it and appreciation for it. But here's the thing: I don't need anyone else to love Star Wars as much as I do, or in the same way that I do. Though I will say, I know this, I've met this little girl who's like 5, and she named her dog Padme, which is the most adorable thing ever, and it made me realize that if I get a dog, which am currently, okay, life update for my friends who are watching this, I am currently in the process of trying to adopt a dog. It's been much more difficult than I expected, especially with COVID and everything. It's become a very long process and kind of like emotionally taxing. So I haven't really done anything with it in the past couple weeks because it was getting to the point where, because the shelters aren't used to like having to do everything online, they don't have a lot of good processes in place, and I found that I was getting my hopes up very frequently and then dashed, and it became like kind of emotionally exhausting. So I've kind of backpedaled in that I was trying to like check websites once an hour, and I realized that's not very sustainable or like good for me. So I had to say, like, this isn't a month-long process of getting a dog. It's gonna probably be more like a year, you know, like I just need to think more in a long-term thing. Like, I'm just waiting for the right dog at the right time. And anyway, so how did I get there? Oh, so it made me realize that if I ever get a dog, I want to name my dog a name from Star Wars. And I picked that out, and I'll save it in case something crazy happens and, like, I'm vlogging and I get a dog, and then I can tell you. And maybe at the end of the 14 days of the Peter Monn vlog challenge, if I don't have a dog, which I'm not going to have a dog in the next 13 days, maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't. I don't know. Comment down below if you want to know what my Star Wars dog name would be. Okay. So you can let me know. So I was talking about John Green, and then I was talking about, this little girl that I know, she's 5, and I feel like we're the same kind of Star Wars fan, and I know that, and I believe that because when episode 9 came out, which I have a lot of issues with, I saw her, and she said she watched it, and I said, what was your favorite part? And she said it was when, spoiler alert, it was when Kylo saved Rey. And I was like, okay, we're the same kind of Star Wars fan. Because I just feel like in that moment, I was like, I see that you're in it for the human aspect and not in for every detail. So I don't know every detail about Star Wars, but I think it's a fascinating human conversation that continues to go on after 40 plus years. I'm not trying to talk about Star Wars right now, though. So I love John Green, and I think it's okay for me to say that, even though I know I'm not the biggest John Green fan on YouTube or the internet or in the world. I love John Green, and I'm okay being the kind of John Green fan that I am. Now, the real question is, why am I talking about this? So I had said, this is where like maybe I spoke too soon last night when I said it was like I could totally see how you could go from one thing to another and not forget. Because now I'm thinking, why was I talking about John Green? So I'm a John Green fan. Wow, comment down below why I was talking about this, if you can tell. Let me just like try to retrace my steps here. So John Green, I was talking about my little tiny friend who loves Star Wars. I think it's okay to be any kind of fan that you want to be, and at any level that you want to be, and you can still be a fan. And I would even say that goes for Peter. Like, I know I'm not the biggest Peter fan. I think ShareBear14 is a much bigger Peter fan than I am. But I think it's okay for me to still say that I'm a fan because I really appreciate what I have seen of his vlogs and the content that he puts out. I appreciate not only his style, but the way that he is trying to make positive space for himself and people, which I think, again, you see that reflected in his fans like ShareBear14, who are trying to do the same, and like Michael. So, yeah, I really am trying to think, why did I start talking about that? That's a really interesting question. Maybe that wasn't the important thing. My grandma always said, it's because I was going to tell you a story. My grandma always said, when he would say, like, I can't remember, she would say, it must have been a lie. So maybe I was going to tell you a false story. Shame on me. But no, I was going to tell you a story about something. I think I got really sucked into that little Star Wars loop I just went down. And which is like also because I just got off the phone talking with my friend about Star Wars for a long time, which is always very fun. And okay, so like dog, Star Wars. Let me take a drink of water from my Star Wars tumbler and see if I can remember. Don't you hate it when that happens? When you like are trying to say something and then you forget what it is. It's like when you walk into a room and you don't remember why. I mean, that happens to me a lot. Aposiopesis. That's kind of what I feel like right now. Aposiopesis is a word that I learned today, which I know I knew it one other time, but I'm part of a online club. It's called a Vocab Club, where we meet once a week in a Zoom room, and we learn new words. And so basically every week we will start off with 3 words that we don't know, and then we try to make them ones that nobody knows. And then we learn like a really old English word, and then we will typically read a chapter of a book by Mark Forsyth called The Elements of Eloquence, and he just talks about like writing and style, and it's a very funny, witty book, and the chapters are like 4 pages, and it's brilliant. So highly recommend Mark Forsyth's The Elements of Eloquence. And today the chapter we read was on aposiopesis, which is when you end a sentence with an ellipsis or ... for a particular effect. So like he was saying, some of the effects that you could like be wanting to have is that your character, or even if you're writing for yourself, that you don't know what to say could be one, or that you got cut off, or that the sentence doesn't need to be finished. So, like, for example, the aposiopesis that it came to my mind when we were reading that chapter was Now I've forgotten that. It was something like dot dot dot, and see that right there is an example of aposiopesis, which is why that word came to my mind, because I feel like this whole rant now is turning into one big aposiopesis where I don't remember what I don't know what I want to say, what I was trying to say. So maybe I'll just move on, and that's fine. You know, we're just hanging out here. I hope you've had a chance today to laugh, to enjoy yourself, to have a meaningful conversation with someone. I know that's always usually the highlights of my day, as I look back at the end of the day, are moments that I've shared with people. Another John Green connected thing, though, even though I know this isn't what I was going to talk about, is that I just watched, this evening, I watched Let It Snow, which I wanted to watch last year when it came out on Netflix, but I forgot at Christmas time. So I waited till this Christmas time and I watched it, and I really loved it, and it actually made me cry like harder than I've cried in a movie in a while. So that was surprising because I didn't really see that coming. But I really, really liked it, and it was very cute, and it was really nice to look at. It was great. I loved it. I will watch that next year 100%. So there's another recommendation. If you haven't watched Let It Snow, it was very good. I laughed very hard. Again, cried. So that's what you want in a Christmas. I mean, that's what I want in a Christmas movie. That's what I'm looking for. Something, and this is what makes Christmas movies, in my opinion. So I have like a whole list. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't look. I don't know if my iPad is synced to my phone anymore. This is my iPad that I've had since 2012. I've had it for 8 years. So I feel like I don't use it very often, but I'm always surprised when I turn it on and it still works, because it's been around for a while. So good job, iPad, for still working 8 years later. No, it's not synced. Anyway, I have a list on my phone that I'm recording on right now of Christmas movies that I want to watch this year, many of which I haven't seen. So like last year, I think it was last year, I watched A Christmas Story for the first time, which is kind of crazy because I had never seen that. And I enjoyed it. I laughed. But yeah, so I've watched a few Christmas movies. Have you been watching any Christmas movies yet? If so, comment down below, and maybe if it's one I haven't seen or one that I like, I will add it to my list and try to watch it before Christmas or before the end of Christmastide, the season of Christmas. Because Christmas just isn't one day. Isn't that so exciting that Christmas is not just one day? So, yeah, comment down below what Christmas movies. I know my friend Kirsten, yesterday, I saw on her vlog that she watched White Christmas, which is, sorry Chris, it's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. My family tradition is that we watch it on Christmas Eve, which is very sad because I don't know, at this point, I did not get together with any family on Thanksgiving, and it's looking like, things for Christmas are still very much up in the air, which is kind of crazy. But, there's a chance that this will be like my first Christmas away from my mom, so that would be weird, because that's always such a fun time, and be like the first Christmas Eve that I don't watch White Christmas with her. So we'll have to figure out some way to both watch it and then talk about it or something. But yeah, so we always watch White Christmas on Christmas Eve, which is probably, I would easily say that is my favorite Christmas tradition, is watching watching White Christmas on Christmas Eve. I love that. I love that movie, and I love when Rosemary Clooney sings that song in the Carousel nightclub. Oh my goodness. If you've never seen A White Christmas, it's understandable, but it's also not acceptable. No, I'm just kidding. It's totally acceptable. And there's no, you don't have to watch it. I've never once seen A White Christmas on a list of like greatest movies ever made. I think it's a perfect movie. There's no, I don't like, I there's no way to improve it, and I get it, and that's because it's the genre that is. Yeah, there are more important movies to watch. I totally agree, but for its genre, Christmas holiday musical, classic, lush, big, larger than life, romantic. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, when she sings that song, every year now, I text my friend Ashley that I went to college with because she used every once in a while she at college she would sing that song to me because she knew I love that song. And so like every year now on Christmas Eve, that's I maybe talked to her like one other time via text throughout the year, and then on Christmas Eve I will text Ashley and be like, "I'm thinking of you, miss you," and we'll exchange a few well wishes. But that's just a perfect movie scene. I love that. I love it so much. Yeah, super good. So I watched Let It Snow. Really, really enjoyed it. I watched two other Christmas movies this very week, actually. I watched Christmas on the Square, the Dolly Parton Christmas musical. Let me just give you a brief. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's new. I got interested in it. I think if I had seen a trailer, I would have been like, that seems fun, I'll watch it. The real reason that I was like pumped for it was because every year I try to create a new Christmas playlist, and I try to like find Christmas music that I've never heard before. Because of course I like the classics, but I also like mixing it up. So like I have Christmas 2020, Christmas 2019, Christmas 2018, going back, I don't know, to like maybe 2016. And I have like all these different playlists. And then I have like Christmas at one that's like Christmas party. And so it's like fun, upbeat, non-traditional sounding Christmas music. And so anyway, my Christmas 2020 playlist, I always kind of start by saying, you know, what Christmas music came out this year. And I try to listen to as much of whatever Christmas music was released. So I was listening through a bunch, and I listened to Dolly Parton's new Christmas album, A Holly Dolly Christmas drama. And the crazy thing was, I just fell head over heels for it. And I'm not a Dolly Parton, I wouldn't even say I'm a Dolly Parton fan. I love the song Jolene. There was someone, I can't remember who, a few years ago recorded a cover of it. I wish I could remember who. It was someone, she has one name, she has curly blonde hair. I'm sure she has two names, but like anyway, that's like her artist name is just one name. And I didn't know it was a Dolly Parton song, and I was like, this song is brilliant, it's amazing. And then I shared it with a friend, and they were like, yeah, it's a Dolly Parton song. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. So anyway, that's how like much I didn't even know that was Jolene was a Dolly Parton song. So I'm not super in touch with Dolly Parton, except that I've been to Dollywood. I will admit that. I confess that to you, YouTube. Comment down below if you've been to Dollywood, and let me know. Ashley, that I was talking about a minute ago, she always talked about how she wanted to sing at Dollywood. She is a great musician, and yeah, so that's another little connection point there in my mind. So not a huge Dolly Parton fan in general, but her Christmas album is very fun, and I found myself listening to it a lot. And there's a song on there called Christmas on the Square, and it's weird, but there's this one part where she's singing about all the food that they're going to cook, and she sings the words cranberry muffin. And let me tell you, I've never had a cranberry muffin, but you better believe I asked my friend if she had a cranberry muffin recipe, because I was like, I need me a cranberry muffin now that Dolly Parton sang about that. And then, this is funny, on Thanksgiving, I watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, because that's one of my favorite Thanksgiving traditions. And Dolly Parton sang, and she was obviously not singing live. And that's totally fine. No judgment, because that's just how that day is run. And but her backdrop, this is so funny. Her backdrop, Dolly Parton's backdrop, was like this snowy, beautiful thing, and it had a cabin, and except the cabin, when you looked closely, It was a Cracker Barrel. I'm pretty sure it was a Cracker Barrel. So now that I say that, I'm like, is that true? Did I make that up? No, it was. It was a Cracker Barrel. So her backdrop was a Cracker Barrel. And that's funny because I had just said before then that listening to Dolly Parton's Christmas album is the sound of what it feels like to be in a Cracker Barrel. And then she goes and has Cracker Barrel as her background in the Thanksgiving Day Parade concert when she sang the song. Anyway, so Christmas on the Square, it's a movie based off of that song on her album. And I definitely will say I was disappointed that they did not do the whole song in its entirety. I'm sure many of you will agree with me. And by that, I mean, I will be shocked if any of you have listened to this album. I'll be shocked if any of you have watched this movie. If you've watched Christmas on the Square, like, comment down below that you've watched it and let me know what your thoughts were. I'm going to share a few of my thoughts with you, I guess. So, no, I'll just share one thought. I thought, even though overall it was a pretty bad movie, it was one, way too well acted. Like, the acting was much better than it should be for that kind of movie. And it also had, like, a few surprisingly touching and poignant moments that, again, just, like, almost didn't feel like they belonged for how cheesy of a concept it was. But then there were these just moments where I was like, oh, wow, I feel, specifically, Jennifer Lewis plays the best friend. I don't know the actress's name who was the main character, but I know Jennifer Lewis from Blackish and her book that came out, which I didn't read, called Mother of Black Hollywood. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so Jennifer Lewis, there's this moment, I don't think this is a spoiler, but like the main character has had her change of heart because of Dolly, of course, who is an angel. Spoiler alert! And so she has her change of heart, and it ends in this church in this town, and the lady who was really bad is standing up at the pulpit, and she starts to apologize to everyone, and she says to this whole community, like, I'm sorry for how mean I was. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I know I've hurt my friends. And Jennifer Lewis is her best friend in this movie, but she's the one that's like tried to call her out and she doesn't listen to her, and they have like a broken relationship, and this was like, oh, this was a great movie moment. In a movie that doesn't deserve to have a great movie moment. It cuts to Jennifer Lewis and she just says, it's okay, baby, it's okay. And it was so beautiful, and it was like, why is that in this? This movie is ridiculous. But it was so good. So anyway, I watched Christmas on the Square. Last night, I watched Happiest Season on Hulu, and laughed out loud. So highly recommend Happiest Season. I think an instant classic. Oh man, the sister. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The sister. First of all, Dan Levy, incredible. But the sister. Oh my goodness. I should look at who that person is. Okay, let's just take a moment to recognize that was a great performance. And let me pull up IMDb, and I'm going to check. Welcome to my world. I don't know how many hours I've spent on IMDb in my life. I would say it's above average. I'm going to be honest with you, that I do believe it would be above average. I keep pushing the wrong thing. Oh, there it is, IMDb. Okay, it's loading. Yeah. When I was in high school, I would literally just look at what movies were going to come out, and I would go as far into the future as I could. And even in college, I would do, like, when I needed a break from studying, like if I was working on a hard paper or whatever, LOL, Chris and Kirsten, you're gonna be like, when were you ever working on a hard paper? You're right, okay. But so when I would need like a little break from writing, I would just scroll through IMDb and try to find movies that were coming out that I had never heard of. Okay, so yeah, so I love IMDb. I know there are probably, well, I was gonna say there might be other things that are better, but probably not for what it is. I think IMDb is doing a great job of keeping record that's really accessible of you know, film and people. So let me look. Mary Holland. Mary Holland. What has she been in? I want to show you her pictures so you can see. Oh, she's so cute. Look at this. This is not at all her vibe in the movie, but look at her here. This is great content, by the way. You watching me look at IMDb and then show you my 2012 iPad. Oh, anyway. So her name is, I just said it and I already forgot. Mary Holland. I don't think she's done a whole lot, but oh wait, maybe I'm wrong. Let's look. Oh yeah, I am wrong. Actress, 90 credits. Okay, let's look if I know. A short, another short, another short, another short. Looks like some animation. She was in, oh! She voiced a droid in the Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge series, which is like a Star Wars game show for kids or something. I haven't watched that because it's not on Disney Plus. I don't know. It's on some channel that no one has access to. I don't know why they're airing it there, but oh, she was in season 2 of Homecoming, which I loved the first season of Homecoming, and I told my friends about it recently, and they watched it and they loved it, and then they watched season 2, and I still haven't watched season 2, which is crazy because it came out in 2020 and we didn't know we were getting a season 2. That was a big deal, but I haven't watched it. So she was in Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I have a friend that loves, but I haven't watched. I think I've watched like half of an episode. Oh, this is interesting. In 2019 she was in a movie called Greener Grass, which I have not seen, but I know it was on some like very filmy people's best of the year list. Not at the top, but pretty high up there. So I should watch, maybe I'll watch Greener Grass. That'll motivate me to watch that. She was in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And she was in an episode of Veep. Okay, so, well, then I've definitely seen her. I just did an episode of New Girl. So she's in a lot of TV. She was in The Good Place, which I've never watched. Hear great things about it. It's Always Sunny. Mindy Project, so I've seen her in Mindy. Shout out to Emily for introducing me to Mindy. That was a great time. She was in Parks and Rec. She's been in, oh my goodness, she's been in so much stuff. Anyway, she's amazing and happiest season. So again, highly recommend. Very good, very good. So yeah, those are a few Christmas movies that I've been watching, and it's been really fun. I've been watching them. Let me tell you about this. This will be fun. I've been watching them at my house because, well, one, hello, where else am I going to be watching movies right now? But I converted, so I have like a lot of space here right now, and I converted this back room into a movie room. And by that, I mean I got a projector and surround sound and that and project onto the furthest wall. So and it like turned out really good. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I've talked about doing it for a long time. So finally it was when my work was shut down again and I was working from home, and so I had extra time. So I was like, I'm gonna take this opportunity to like do this project. So it was just like a lot of moving furniture, and I painted the wall that I was going to project onto, and obviously picked out the projector, picked out Chris. Thank you so much again. I'm still so thankful for you letting me ask all those questions about sound and stuff and helping me figure out which would be a good sound system to go with. And so, yeah, I got surround sound, and it turned out amazing. And that's what I watch Mandalorian on every week. And yeah, so it's like 130 some inches wide and 72 inches tall. And everyone says, well, you know, you're supposed to go from corner to corner to measure. I'm like, yeah, but when I was over there, I wasn't thinking about that with my tape measure. So I should just like go measure corner to corner so everyone stops yelling at me. But, you know, haters gonna hate. So if you're still watching, comment down below your favorite Taylor Swift song. Yeah, my friend recently reminded me that Taylor Swift had a Christmas song, so I listened to that again, and it's very nice. I quite like it. So that's on a Christmas playlist I have. But anyhow, yeah, so I have that movie room. So that's what I've been watching my Christmas movies on. So that's fun. I love going to the movies, and so that's been something I've missed this year. And you know, I don't want to ever like feel like that's my complaint, although I do think it's legitimate for us to recognize how this year has, you know, changed our normal experience of life. And any involuntary change is some kind of suffering, so it's okay for me to recognize that not going to the movies is a, albeit mild and fairly inconsequential, form of suffering. And so, and I can even be grateful that that is the suffering that I'm experiencing, because that's pretty easy to deal with. But I do miss it. And that's, yeah. So, you know, setting up this movie room, I probably would not have done if I was still going to the movies all the time. But yeah, so it's been fun. Yeah, I look forward to the day when, you know, we're all traveling again and safe, and I can have people come over and share that. I've got, you know, a few friends here in town that I have over that we're in each other's bubble, and yeah, so that's fun. So that's my movie room. I've really enjoyed it. Have you? What projects? Maybe share down below. What projects have you taken on? Did you see that? Did you see that? Did the lights just flicker, or is my phone being weird? What's happening? What if I'm going to be haunted like Ebenezer Scrooge? That would be exciting. Comment down below if, what was I just saying? What projects you've gotten done, or interesting things you've started doing, or anything since because of the way that COVID has impacted your life. So anything that you've learned or started, let me know. I'd be interested. It's good for us to, yes, recognize the bad things, but I also believe that it's important to stop and to take into account the things that, you know, these challenges, the opportunities that these challenges have brought to us, which reminds me again of this idea of some stress is good stress, because it causes us to find new options. Yeah. So what options have you come into, you know, this year that you otherwise maybe wouldn't have? So that'd be interesting to know. So let me know. Yeah, I'm going to take another drink of water. It's important to stay hydrated, which reminds me that at work we always try to remind each other to stay hydrated. And my coworker she still has this button. It's just like you know, they used to have those buttons that like was like someone gave me like a Yoda button, and you push it and it has different sayings of Yoda. My coworker has one that's just like blank, and it just makes like a ding, like it's kind of like a clank. It's a mix between a ding and a clank noise. And she used to push that, and that would remind everyone in the office to take a drink, which is really nice. If you don't have something like that and you're still going into an office place, that's my challenge to you tonight. I don't know if I'm always gonna, like, last night I was like, you know, save the planet or whatever, which afterwards I was like, oh my goodness. But It's fine. So here's my challenge: stay hydrated. First of all, yourself. Because when the flight attendants say you have to put on your oxygen mask first, so you need to make sure that you're hydrated. But then also use your need for hydration to remind other people of their need for hydration. I know that I often say this kind of in jest, but I really believe that hydration is, and I have not, I don't have any basis for this except that I know it's true because we can't live without water, but I really believe that a lot of our just not feeling great or being sleepy is often connected to our need for water. So just stay hydrated, people, especially right now. You do not need to be dehydrated plus getting a cold or whatever, getting the flu, whatever it would be. So stay hydrated. That's so important. I will always be preaching that message. Stay hydrated. But here's my challenge to you. Find some way, if you're still going into work, or if you're not going to work, I was just going to tell you to email your coworkers every day and remind them to stay hydrated. Don't do that because they will hate you. That sounds like something that I would start to do, and then after 2 days, my coworkers would be like, stop. Yeah, so don't do that. But if you're going into work, come up with some fun way of reminding one another to stay hydrated. This is what I want to do. I said to my coworkers today, I want to get a bell or a gong. And I decided a gong. Well, I want a bell and a gong. And we're talking about doing white elephant at work. So I'm hoping that if we do it, the system is rigged and one of my coworkers that were there today pick me or something, that would be fun. But anyway, that's also fine if they don't. Because we'll probably use some electronic thing for drawing names, so it wouldn't happen. But you never know. Anyhow, I was saying I want a bell so that we can ring the bell when it's lunchtime, because I think that would be very fun to have, because a lot of times we'll eat lunch at the same time at our different spaces, and then we talk. And so I think it would be fun to have a little bell, so when we know it's lunchtime, we could ring this little bell. I just think that would be a fun, whimsical thing to have a lunch bell in an office. Kind of archaic. I learned a word for that today. No, I didn't. It's a different word. I'm going to move on because it's probably not that interesting. But anyway, I decided that I would really like a little gong for my desk, and I found them on Amazon, and they have these little gongs, and I just think that would be such a nice way to remind people to stay hydrated. But then I was thinking, okay, here's the thing, I need a bell, and I need a little soft clinging bell, and I need a gong, and one of them I want to be to remember to hydrate, so maybe that would be the gong, and then the little bell would be a little ding, a nice little ting. And that reminds you to breathe all the way down in your diaphragm, because I also have come to believe this year that a lot of stress-related problems and stuff are very much connected to our breath, and that's through my fairly recent journey into yoga. And I have just learned that I can cope and deal with difficult situations so much better if I'm breathing fully. Even right now, that I just feels so good. And if my shoulders are not up by my ears, so if you can bring your shoulders down from your ears and breathe fully, and stay hydrated. What a life! That's a great life right there. And that's the truth. Is what I've learned is I can deal with a lot more stressful situations than I could even a year ago or 2 years ago, because I've learned new techniques for respecting the fact that I am a body, and recognizing that my body is having a reaction to a situation, and that I can choose because I have a mind and the ability to make choice. When I see what my options are, I can choose to do things with my body that help my body be okay in difficult situations, and breathing is such an important part of that. So I would love to have a little breath bell and a little hydration gong, and maybe my coworkers would probably get so annoyed with me. I don't think they would. I think they would like that. just to remember to breathe and to stay hydrated. Yeah. I feel like I was thinking about some interesting things earlier. Oh, last night, I guess this is kind of funny. Last night, I was like, oh, I guess I'm out of things to say. Because I talked for a long time, like I have tonight. But then, like, when I was working on uploading my video, I remembered, like, a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about that I forgot. And one of them was that my friends Aaron and Sarah had texted me yesterday and about Star Wars, and we were talking about Star Wars, and it just made me so happy. And but now I've already talked about Star Wars a bunch tonight, but not like, I guess not in depth, or I haven't. I mean, I did say a little bit about why I like Star Wars, but it goes much deeper than what I shared. So, oh no, I just saw. I'm looking over. One of the things I've gotten into this year, I'll share another one of my things, is houseplants. Now, I started getting into houseplants probably like a couple years ago. Yeah, actually a couple years ago. I'll show you my aloe. This is my aloe. I don't. I know some people name their houseplants. I don't name my houseplants, but if you think I should name my house, if I should name my aloe, comment what you think down below my aloe should be named, and maybe I will name my aloe. So come up with some good names for my aloe. He's gonna wave. Maybe it's a she. You know, no judgment. 2020. So that's my aloe, and but this year I've learned how to take so much better care of so I have 13 different kinds of houseplants now, and I just looked over and I saw that my friend's mom gave me this beautiful spider plant, and as soon as it was at my house, it started dying. And it was so beautiful and full, and I just watched over the past 2 months, it's just slowly dying. And I've tried not watering as much. I've tried watering it more. I've tried giving it less sunlight. I've tried getting more sunlight, which is like really all I know how to do. And nothing seems to make it happy. It seems very determined to die on my watch. And I looked over and I'm like, oh no, it looks so bad right now. There's like this is funny, there's like 2 things sticking up and all the rest of them are brown and are falling down the side. It's very sad. But it's next to my ZZ plant, which is gorgeous, and I don't have to do much with that. It's a very easy plant. So highly recommend if you're looking for a good house plant, look up a ZZ plant and get that. Find your local greenery. That's what happened to me was so my aloe I got at IKEA, and I have one other plant. Maybe it's that one over there. I don't know what it's called, which is because I got it at IKEA probably. And I was just like, oh, I like that. I got a couple at IKEA a couple years ago. Oh, I have 3 from IKEA. My snake plant's also from IKEA. I don't know where that one is. I repotted for the first time, and they were all in this hanging thing I have over there, and I was like so happy with how it was looking. And then I realized a bunch of these need to be repotted, and the pots that I got were too big for the hanging thing, which is fine because now they're all spread out, and so every room I'm in, I can see a living plant, which is, except for like just on my main level, not upstairs in my bedroom. But yeah, so that's nice because I can see plants wherever I go, and that is just good for me emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So, yeah. But the reason I got so many so quickly, because I went from having like 4 different kinds to having 13, is because I got acquainted with our local nursery. And it's gorgeous and amazing. And the lady who runs it is so sweet and so kind. And she's been doing it for years. She's amazing. And yeah, absolutely love her and her nursery and how much love and care she puts into those plants, and how she is just so knowledgeable. It's crazy how knowledgeable she is about plants and what they need and what they're saying to you by what they look like, and it really is a fascinating communication. Like right now I'm looking up at a couple of my plants that are saying, hey, we need a drink, and again, hydration is the key to life. And you know, it's good for me to look at my plant and remember it's depending upon me for that water, and my body depends upon water. So talked a lot about water tonight. Who am I? Olaf in Frozen 2? I love Frozen 2. Okay, I don't know a lot of people who agree with me, but I think Frozen 2 is probably the best Disney animated movie since the Disney Renaissance. Now, that being okay, the only one that I think rivals with it is Moana. And if I watch Moana, I'm instantly like, this is the best. And if I watch Frozen 2, I'm instantly like, this is the best. If you have not watched the 6-part docu-series on Disney Plus about Frozen 2 called Into the Unknown, stop what you're doing. Turn off YouTube. Don't ever watch me again. Go watch that. It's incredible. I thought I loved Frozen 2. Then I watched that. I thought it was like a 20-minute... I was just like, I need something short to watch that I'm not going to really care about. One time I was like trying to, eat dinner really quick before I went somewhere. And when I went to put it on, I was like, oh my goodness, this episode's like 45 minutes. And then I realized it has episodes? I thought it was like a 20-minute behind-the-scenes thing. It is a 6-part docuseries that is the best behind-the-scenes content I've ever seen in my life. And that's coming from someone who, as a child, watched every behind-the-scenes feature. I had the behind-the-scenes to the Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of Black Pearl, memorized. Oh my goodness. I loved behind-the-scenes stuff. So, yeah, watch that. That's very good. But I sincerely, I do love Frozen 2. Yeah, I guess so tonight, I've just been talking a lot about, movies and things that I love, which... If you know me, as many of you do, you know I love movies, and over the past 4 years, I've really figured out that that's one of my passions, is film. And I'm looking over at my other Christmas tree over there. I do have 2 Christmas trees up right now, and I'm seeing that one of my Christmas ornaments over there, which, so this is my nice one that has everything the same, and it's pretty for my front window, and that one at the back window is more fun, and it has, a bunch of ornaments that people have given me and different things. And I have a bunch of them that were I got with some friends when we used to go Christmas shopping every year. And each year has an ornament that describes that year. And my ornament for 2018 is a... I don't even know what those are called. I'm realizing now. But it's the clacker that they would put, marker, whatever. I don't know that's not what they say. Take 32, and they do that. Which I never knew what that was for. This might be kind of embarrassing. Until I was making a video for something where the audio and the video were on separate tracks. Right now I'm recording my phone, so the audio and the video are automatically synced. But I did something where the audio was coming in from a different feed, and I was like, what would be great is if you had something at the beginning where it made a noise right when you saw something happen so you could align it. And I was like, oh, that's what that is. I never knew that. So that's kind of embarrassing and funny. But anyway, so that was mine for 2018, because in 2018, I watched 180 movies. I got in deep to just film, and so I watched a lot of movies that year. And I haven't surpassed that. The past couple of years, I have not watched that many movies. And that makes me sad. But also, I'm content. But there's still so many more good movies I want to watch. Yeah, what movies are on your short list? I'm asking you a lot of questions tonight, but I'm looking forward to what you have to say. Yeah, I will at some point, like I said, I will vlog from my car. I guess I could have done that tonight. I didn't even think about it. I just instantly started getting my blanket ready by the Christmas tree. Because, again, who doesn't want to sit here like this and be all cozy and warm? I hope you have a cozy and warm place to be today. I hope that you take time to be there. That you take some time to rest. Even if it's 5 minutes... I hope you take a few moments today to rest. I hope you can maybe spend a little extra time there if you need that. Pay attention to what you need. I hope that you can stay hydrated. If you have a drink near me, let's just raise a glass together, giving thanks for water and for life. That little moment right there is what's going to keep me alive, folks. Now, that being said, anything's possible. Anything could happen. But that was necessary for me to continue living. So that's fascinating. We're so dependent upon sleep and water and food. We're such dependent creatures. It's really interesting. So, yeah, those are some thoughts I'm having. Yeah, so I was at work today and then came home and did some other work for my other job, and then I ate dinner and I talked to Michael on the phone, and then I watched Let It Snow. Then I talked to my other friend about Star Wars, and then I spent some time sharing my life with you, and I'm very thankful for this. So this is day 2 of the Peter Monn vlog challenge for me, Milky Way Matthew, and I've enjoyed these first 2 days. I hope you have as well. Thank you for watching. If you watched to the end, that's amazing. Good for you. Wow. That's a gift of time that I don't really deserve, but I appreciate it. And so, yeah, I'm thankful for the time that you've spent with me today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So I have a few more things to say here to you, and I'm going to come in nice and close. If no one has told you this today, you are loved, and you are important, and you are necessary, and you matter. And this is what I want to say. This is what has been fun for me, like seeing Share Bear 14 and realizing how many people are making positive space online, which right now is important because we're spending a lot of time online. You have the ability to positively impact those around you, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being kind. Yeah, I'm grateful for you, and you're amazing. And I mean that. I mean that sincerely. And yeah, I look forward, if I don't know you already, I look forward to getting to know you in the comments. Tell me about yourself. Ask me a question if you want. Maybe tomorrow, if you ask questions, I will answer some of them. Yeah, so you're important, you're loved, you are deeply, deeply, deeply loved. And I hope that, that you're able to feel loved today. So take care of yourself, stay hydrated, let that water be a way that you feel loved today. You can love yourself by taking a big drink of water. And so that's what I invite you to do. So you're loved, you're important. Thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow for day 3 of the Peter Monn vlog challenge. But here we go. That's another vlog with Milky Way Matthew, day 2 Peter Monn vlog challenge, December 4th, 2020. Over and out. Bye, kiddos.